right, there we go. All right, so man, yeah, it's been a long time, bro. I was actually I was telling somebody the other day. It's funny because y'all came up the other day in a conversation I was having with somebody because they was like, North Carolina, man, it's been a, and at first they started talking about like more recent stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, but no, but I remember like YAGGFU Front, and I was like, there you go. Now I know you know your stuff. That's what's up. So yeah, man, it was yeah.
It's cool if we can clear up some stuff that people be saying is just like out there that's not true.
Oh well, we can
I'd be happy to
absolutely
do that. Yeah, not in a messed up way. I'm just saying, I think the fact that we don't really like be out there, or we never really try to pursue fame like a lot of people did, like put a lot of speculation out there, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it left a lot of room for people to assume things just because y'all weren't really to stay in
Right.
front of the camera and do interviews every 5 minutes trying to clear shit up. So
Right.
that actually don't kind of to a degree kind of worked in your favor because there's a mystique about y'all that exists that like people just don't know.
We kind
What.
of thought that was kind of the thing back in the day, so it's kind of weird how well, think about it like this. Even beforehand, when this all started, I was working at WKNC, right?
I remember. That's what I mentioned.
And so that was my main thing. I wanted to be a DJ, and I wanted to produce, make beats. I wasn't really necessarily into rapping. I would rap. I could freestyle. I always could rap. But my whole thing was like trying to come up with a whole concept for an album. I was just like really enamored by, um, you know, albums like the Beatles, you know, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I was into stuff like how people put together like children's records and how they, sequenced it and all that stuff. So that was my interest behind the scenes. I thought, oh, I'm gonna make children's records when I grow up. I really was into Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh wow, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, it's
That's
funny because
crazy.
I mean I might be doing something with them. I don't even know. The point is so it all comes full circle. But the point is like back then it was like a blend of me trying to do stuff that I liked.
Right.
And then hip hop was also coming up around the same time when I was in high school. So by the time I was in college mode, I wanted to work as a radio DJ because I was really into it. I was like, yeah, hip hop is the shit. It's like, it's the young people's, version of jazz or funk. And then the, radio stations like 97 was like no rap. And so it was kind of like interesting to kind of see everything unfold over time. But when I was there, I was definitely trying to like make sure that hip hop was on the map back then. You know that I would bring people up there. I'd break the rules, freestyles. Like first we had Wax Master Tory and DVS
Yes.
there, and then you had Wink Moody, and
Man.
then it was a bunch of people back then. And then Tommy T, DJ Tommy T, Tommy G. I'm sorry, I'm Tommy T. He's Tommy G. And it was a vibe there because WKNC was like one of the few places where you could get authentic hip hop. Stand up.
I guess the intro was like, dude, you never played me. I'm just gonna
All right, that's what it was. Like,
my bad.
So my entry into hip hop was just like, Everybody Plus. Like I wanted to do something. I didn't want to like work for a popular radio station because at the time, like they didn't have it. But I knew hip hop was going to be the thing, and I was like, yeah, one day they're gonna have radio stations. This is gonna have nothing but hip hop.
Yeah.
So
Man.
like years I worked at the WKNC. I started off after my who was my mentor at the time, DJ M Ski.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me the ropes at the radio station. I had met Wax Master Tory and gone up there and freestyle before, but he left. He started doing his stuff on other shows and going into syndication. And in the meantime, there were other DJs that started coming up at WKNC, and M Ski was the big one at the time. And he continued on the same traditional sound of mixtape, long 6-hour mixtapes that Wax Master Tory did.
For sure.
So during that time, that's when I started making beats. But I didn't have any equipment, so we were just making beats off of sample mixes and stuff like that. So when Jingle and Spin walked into the radio station, I thought that Spin was Wax Master Tory calling me, like, hey, I want to come by the radio station. I was like, word, come on by, Tory. But it was Torin. That's his name. His name is Torin. So when they walked in, I didn't know who these dudes were, but I didn't want to be like, funny about it because I had answered with such enthusiasm. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And he came up there, he was DJing, Jingle was DJing, and they just had a vibe that was like different than everybody else's. They weren't being pretentious, they weren't trying to brag, they weren't trying to lie about what they had going on. A lot of people were lying. Um,
Man.
and I didn't understand why, because the opportunities were there for anybody to get on at that time. Because I'm like, man, y'all should just look on the back of uh, records and take the addresses and like send them your stuff. They weren't doing that, and I noticed that it was a thing around in North Carolina. I wasn't just here. I was in Winston Salem, Wilmington, Greensboro, Goldsboro. So I was back and forth in all these cities during that time. And I met a lot of rappers like, yo man, put me on the radio station. I got this going on with this company. I got that going on with that company. Not knowing that those are the same companies that would come to WKNC and try to push the records because they had to have somebody around here, in a regional to
Right.
try to get it into the college radio. So then I'd be like, yeah, it's been more than one time that I got embarrassed for believing what somebody from around here had said. Cause I'll go back to the people like, yeah, you working with them? Like, I don't know who that is.
Who?
And
Yes.
so part of how YAGGFU Front got started was because Jingle and Spin was so real at the time. I had gone through so many people who would, you know, kind of like just fake it to make it, where I never agreed with. They came on, they were so real. We got together. That's kind of how the whole YAGGFU Front concept came about. Because we were like, why can't you just be simple and plain? Do your own style. It don't have to be what everybody else is doing, but you do the business behind the scenes. You develop T-shirts, you develop merchandise, you develop your own stuff, and then
Right.
present that to the record label. So you got to stop fronting, and then in turn, you're gonna get fucked up if you front. So that's how you're gonna get fucked up if you front came out. It was like, yo, we gonna do it. We're not really trying to like be famous or rich, but we're gonna show everybody this is the template to do it. And it worked, man. You know how many rappers I done met that influence, bro. So ultimately, we did make the goal. We don't get the credit, but
No.
a lot of these people that are famous and they're inspired by us. And when they meet us, they get humble and be like, "Oh man, yo, props to y'all." You know what I'm saying? Because what you ain't tell nobody you got it from us. So
That part. That
yeah,
was the and that's the thing I was telling somebody because they was asking me about the nobodies, and I was like, well, the nobodies was really we was inspired by YAGGFU Front from what we saw them do because I was like our manager was they people already. I was like, and I
right.
already knew you from 88.1, and I went to school with your sister and all of that. Like I already knew y'all from that. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, yeah, I remember watching them. And like y'all were part of a wave of phenomenal North Carolina hip hop, and it's not that it's not phenomenal now, but like during that period, because it was still so new, it was like YAGGFU Front, it was Pop Tart Milkshake, it was fucking Trees of a Different Soil, Seventh
Right.
Tribe. It was man, it was so many incredible groups and rappers back then. But like y'all were like the ones that kind of just I like everybody. It was like a lot of rumble going on in one spot, and then y'all just kind of like rose to the top of it. And a lot of that.
Let's look. Let's be real. Let's talk about that. Let's talk
Okay.
about trees of a different soil. Let's talk about Seventh Tribe. Let's talk about okay, so you know, trees of a different soil, very sensitive subject. My good brother Nighty, he was like one of my best friends. Nighty had.
Mm. Rest in peace, my brother.
He
Yeah.
was a phenomenal. Anybody knows, like out of all of us, he had the most talent, bro.
Night was sick, yo. Night was so sick.
From just creativity, style, dress, just being a good, generally good human being out that type of level. He was probably one of the more influential people that people don't talk about for the group of YAGGFU Front because his vibe and energy was definitely something that was a huge effect. Same as Seventh Tribe, right?
Mm.
Seventh Tribe and Taj Mahal especially, and Ron Morgan, those two guys especially. But the whole crew. But especially Taj Mahal and Ron Morgan, their manager. They were very influential in this area, and the reason why is because as well as Ron Morgan handled himself in terms of as a manager, promoter, somebody doing things in terms of the industry, um, it's no question that there was nobody else that was doing that for anybody around here.
Oh no.
So he was. I mean, for me, he was the first person that I his money, time, energy into investing into a group and trying to take them to the next level. So, but don't forget, like Funky Man was there, like Dead
Mm,
Prez was there, right? And then like uh, 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 R.A. the Rugged Man, he was around.
no doubt.
Um, maybe not as much as Biggie, but hey, are we live?
Nah,
You can
nah.
edit this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get up for a second.
I know that.
My boy is showing up like he's texting me the whole time talking about he outside. He ain't outside. Hold
No doubt.
on.
Da-da. We'll be right back after this.
Yeah, 7 Barz. Y'all in trouble now, man. Let's go.
North Carolina hip hop and why it's perceived as a almost mysterious, like almost like hidden thing that's going on, bro. You
Real
feel me?
deal.
And why it still to this day is like that. That's the reason why people be like, yo, I saw J. Cole on a bike in New York. That's some North Carolina shit. I don't know
Absolutely.
nothing about what he got going on, but to all of us, seeing J. Cole on a bike, they'd be like, yeah, like that makes
That's
total
normal.
sense. You feel me? So the reason why I was saying all that was because that can help you and hurt you. That
Yeah.
mystery. Now, what it does is you don't get into the. We got a lot of people who switched over. The point I was trying to get to is a lot of people switched over back then during that time with Seven Tribe. All of us, the transition for 97.5, and that's when the silk suits and the what I'm saying, the people who would rock the stuff from Limbs and stuff like that. They were doing a lot of stuff. They were going to Plum Crazy. They were dancing. They were listening to, what I'm saying. They were listening to a lot of New Jack and think about it, bro. Right? Those people are the same people today, but somehow, some way, they started feeling less than for being a part of that and started slowly transitioning because it was cool. They weren't really into hip hop, and those same people would see the money and the value in it, so they would also take that same R&B aesthetic and then go to these record labels
Right.
and try to market and promote records in that same regard. You feel me? So all that stuff has an effect because if you got people who are clueless going out to try to market to people who are clueless about a group. You don't know nothing about hip hop. They don't know about this hip hop group. They're already looking at you. You in North Carolina. They're like, yeah, ain't no rappers in North Carolina. What y'all got? Like, I remember people used to say, do y'all have like what? So what? Do y'all have places to go? Do y'all have stores? Like crazy stuff. I'm like, we got a full on mall. We got everything y'all got. I ain't never seen that in New York. So I get the concept of us being mysterious,
No
right?
doubt.
But it could be just we so in the hip, bro. I ain't gonna lie. We so in the I'm so in the hip hop. I'll speak for them. But we so in the hip hop. I don't think it was ever an issue. We were so into hip hop. I don't think we ever was like we interested to. I don't think I don't think we were interested to do anything once we got into the industry. Okay,
I feel that.
for the same stuff. Now listen, I know P Diddy's locked up. So people ask me, hey, back in the days, y'all were around during that time. Y'all ever get invited to a P Diddy party? Sure. But before all of that happened, probably because he was just throwing parties in Howard. You feel me? Like for a
Exactly.
homecoming. So you go in there, it'd be dope. It'd be like 3 floors. He probably dressed it up. But as far as I knew, I ain't know about no extra stuff. Wasn't nobody mess around. So like all that stuff probably came. I mean,
It
and
came
that's
with the
back.
money.
Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
the up. I'm in the uptown days. I'm way before the bad boy days and all that other stuff. So I don't know nothing. We ain't really us as a group. I promise you, we ain't really encounter all of that. We weren't going out trying to find groupies or we didn't get because we were from North Carolina, right? And we were all kind of like okay. We weren't like coming from any kind of disparity at all. We were coming out of college.
Right.
So we had resources. We could do stuff that the record labels couldn't. When we would go to towns, we would actually meet women and like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but it wasn't until we got on tours and started getting invited to industry parties that women started coming around and just be like slutty women. And then it would be like, just a lot of hangers on dudes, posers, like a lot of that stuff. So to be truthful, it wasn't really our vibe. Now, did we know coming from North Carolina we needed to go do those things so we could schmooze and do a lot of networking and stuff like that? Not really. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We were more like where to rap at. Like when we would go to places, like when we go to California, if somebody was in a freestyle or a cipher, we would jump into the cipher.
Yes.
If there was,
Yes.
blunt smoking going on, I'm talking about everyone. Like it's been incredible cipher. Souls of Mischief. One time I was there with ODB in Greensboro, like Busta Rhymes, Leaves the New School type, Try Call Quest, just good vibes. Usually where it's just like, hey, we just getting off. Damn, we on this city. Oh, it's y'all. Hey, wait, hey, y'all got some smoke? Oh yeah, well we just chilling out into the parking lot till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Then you go crash, get up, go where you gotta go. They go where they gotta go.
No doubt.
So the mystery is we ain't won't trying to be out there. We won't trying to get no chicks, right? We won't trying to do nothing but sell t-shirts. We were selling t-shirts. So we didn't try to make money on the side, sell no smoke, none of that. Like a lot of rappers do whatever they got to do. They would give us money. We'd be like, yeah, that's straight. Like, oh, we only gave us $30 per diem. I'm like, man, that's $200 a week extra I got. Y'all tripping. So that's the type of stuff we would encounter. So where people had a bigger expectation of what was supposed to happen, we was straight even keeled, bro. Like, so coming out of it, or where we're like, okay, we're done. Like regularly, like you done. We're like, yeah, like in the contract, we get to keep everything. Like, what y'all talking about? So we got it. It took us a while, but we got everything back. But technically, we signed a deal that was smart. They couldn't. They could. Like you'd be like, yo, I heard like like yeah, it's like 8 album deals. Like yo, you got to sign for 3 album deals. And we're like, wow. And then it gets worse. You be like, get to the day, it's like 360 deals. Like wow, don't y'all know you ain't got to do none of that.
Not none of
So
it.
right, none of it. So that's the other reason why we weren't really down is because like the industry is so shady and snaky. We had it in the contract to get our stuff back, and they ain't give it back. You feel me? Like you gotta get lawyers. I'm like, no, no, no. You just deliver it back to us.
Yeah, it's in the
So
contract.
yeah, so that's the reason why we like no cap. We've been rapping ever since, and I think it's good. I just don't like to release any of that stuff, bro. And the reason why I don't like to release any of it is because if we decide to break up or it's over, completely over, I'll try to release everything, put it out there on streaming sites, and be like, yeah, this is what we, you know what I'm saying? This is what we did. These are things we did. But it's gonna have to be a slow drip because if you never heard of us before, and we come out being braggadocious, we're pretty good on the beats, we're pretty good on the rhymes. You might think, oh, y'all just copycats. Oh, you trying to be like this group or that group. Y'all trying to be like Tribe Called Quest. Y'all were. Yeah, I remember people be like, yo, y'all bit off the Fushnickens. I'm like, we came out before the Fushnickens.
Yeah,
Like,
and
no, y'all
y'all
didn't.
don't
Y'all
rap like
came out.
those niggas.
Bro, I listen. The only reason why they said that was because of Fu. At the same time the Fushnickens came out, we already had YAGGFU front.
No doubt.
So we were just like, oh, maybe people like their whole thing was I saw their promo. They were in like geese and like they was in some Chinese stuff. Well, our name didn't have nothing to do with anything Chinese or Japanese or Asian. So that was another thing that got put on us. It was like YAGGFU, you mean like the foo? I'd be like, that's kind of racist. No, it's an acronym, you know.
So it's kind of
So
racist.
right. Yeah. Like, yo, I was thinking we got, listen, back then I was 100% like, we really 100% got to pick a name that later on nobody can't say they come back or copyright or try to say it's this or that. That's the reason why we picked YAGGFU Front. I had a
That's
whole
real.
list. It was me and this guy named Perry Jones. He runs a podcast now, Straight to Tape, I think. Um, and me and this dude, Perry Jones, and we 100% sat there and wrote a whole bunch of stuff. I came up with the YAGGFU. He came up with the front. So, um, there were more than just us as members. There were other members of YAGGFU Front than the ones that you usually associate with. There was Perry Jones. There's, of course, you just said in Pop Tart and Milkshake.
No
Joe
doubt.
City, he's the one that made, right, Joe City, he's the one that made Looking for a Contract.
Oh,
There was
man.
D-Lo. Like, it's multiple people that were officially a part of YAGGFU Front. It was like a big crew. And when we got signed, there was like mad creative difference. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I don't know what decisions were made. I really don't understand what happened. I might have got like blamed for it at some point, maybe through miscommunication. But everybody, if you know me, I'm so blind, bro. I don't be knowing about nobody's problems with me, bro. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally clueless, bro. I sit here, I make beats. I've been doing this. I'm 55. I've been doing this since I was like before I was 18, 16, 15. Been trying to do this stuff. And I do it because I like to. I don't know about you. I'm pretty sure you feel the
Yes,
same way.
absolutely.
Now, has me liking to do this stuff like affected other people or people gotten feelings of pride off of? Yeah, I know people. I would hope people got some feelings of pride off of what we did, being from
Oh yeah.
here, being like you can make it, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm just kind of like enraptured by making beats and rapping
Mhm.
and we got offers like we got deals and everything, but the industry is kind of corrupt in comparison to where we were. You feel what I'm saying? And kind
Absolutely.
of where we are to this day. We might not be the type to be like we're gonna act gangster just to get credibility or make up stories. I mean, we might delve into fantasy and make up stuff because of the children's record influence of things that we did.
Right.
But most of the time, we just spitting around showing we are dope. So I just wanted to say that that's part of the reason why there's a huge mystery about us. It's not that we're not there. It's just that why, if you have this dope of stuff and you guys are this dope, why don't you have this money or why aren't y'all releasing music? And I have to tell you that all the stories that everybody has said about the music industry and how messed up it is, not the ones where they be talking about Illuminati. I ain't never seen nothing crazy like that. Do they have a lot of powerful people? Yes. Illuminati, no, you just putting words in place of the truth, which is these mugs got a lot of control with all that money and all their
Absolutely.
pressing plants and everything. But did I see that it was like where people will actively put blocks in your way? Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. People took our music. Hey, so many people bid off of me, bro, beat wide, all that stuff. It's just a fact. And didn't give me credit. Now, am I bitter about it? Nah, because that's kind of how hip hop is. You listen to like I give credit to where credit is due. Where
Okay.
my influences are way back in the days. But the general ones I throw out is Pete Rod, like Timberland, like people that the same as everybody else. I'm gonna be influenced by what people have going on in the hip hop beat making path all the way through. But also you got to kind of like what pitch it so it doesn't sound like everybody else, or it sounds like you every time they hear your beat.
Absolutely.
So there's certain elements that it made it out, which is and won't nobody chopping up samples like we were. Period.
Oh yeah.
Nobody.
Nah.
All
Nah.
right, and nobody wasn't all. And now Bomb Squad is the closest,
Okay. Yeah. I can agree
right?
with that.
Right,
Absolutely.
and we're influenced by Bomb Squad. You see what I'm saying? Drums wise, of course, we were being influenced by anything that like Tricar Quest or
Mhm.
Large Professor, anybody that was kind of peer oriented around. I definitely took cues for how to EQ my drums or make the snare pop or using double or triple snares. You know what I'm saying? I got that all from Q-Tip or warm filtered almost sample vibes of where it was a dope loop. I got that from Large Professor. But I was making beats before that and I didn't have a sample. So I was doing drums. So I was influenced by heavy drums, drum production from back in the days, where the drums would hit like Just Ice or Schoolie
Whew.
D. Right.
Yes.
So if you think about it, you go back and listen to it, you can hear the old school influence of the drums. You can hear the drum track and pattern of type, like using multiple snares from like a Q-tip type situation. But I tried to avoid. If you listen to it, it don't sound like none of that, but you can hear all those elements merging together. A
Right.
concept bomb squad esque, like hip hop 4/4 with heavy drums and snares. It's always driving. And so, and through that, that's kind of how I would categorize how all of us together we probably have our own styles today, but it's all kind of like sort of a soup of influence. So
Hey,
that's all I want to do. I know that was like 20 minutes of breaking it all down to me talking,
that's all good. It's all good. Like that's the reason why I like to have like I talk to a lot of guys who are fairly new in the game, but I like to have people on who have tenure. So that way there's like there's a backstory there, and there's a way to kind of address some of the stuff that people have questions about that we ain't gotta. It ain't a guessing game. Like, you already lived it. Like, I don't have to pontificate about it. I can tell you exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you exactly how it was in our scope. Now, one thing I did want to ask you was, being that you're such a big fan of hip hop, and I know, you know, how much we love the culture and all of the parts that come with it. You know what I'm saying? What was it like when y'all linked up with Diamond D?
Diamond D is funny. I'm gonna tell you, that's a funny guy. Diamond D is also an influence that I would say. Mostly all right, so it's like this. Diamond D, we went on a tour together with him and the Psychotic Neurotics, right? And then also Nefertiti was there and this guy named Dougie D. And so we were all on one bus and we were touring from maybe New York all the way down to Florida, all the way over to Texas, maybe. So we took a whole little college tour. So during that college tour, we would all have fun. Like I don't know, shoot. I didn't even know Exotic existed till Diamond D came along. Like I probably didn't even know that existed. The two ways I got introduced into Exotic was Diamond D, who only had one joint at all times. It's the same joint, and it just never stopped. It never stopped burning. And then I'm dead ass. And then one time I think we went to Freaknik or something in Atlanta, something the big Atlanta Bash radio station Bash, and I ran into Slim Kid, who was nice enough to give me some bud he had from Cali. I think he charged me like $20, and then but I ain't even used that until we got back to we were staying in Virginia Beach at the time. So I brought it back with me, and it was the strongest weed I ever encountered in my life. Still to this day, I'm like, what in the heck? So the reason why I was saying like that, all of that was because this is how Diamond D came along in terms of getting the remix. So you can get like food from the radio station if you're working at the studio, right? If you're working on something, you can get food. They'll deliver food. So he came by and was like, yo, y'all at the studio, I'm gonna come by. Like, all right, we wanna get you on a song. Like, all right, bet. He came through, ordered food. Swear to God, he was like 10 minutes in, he didn't knock that out. He came in, dropped it, was like, all right, y'all, and pounded us up. He got his food and left. So that's what our experience was like with Diamond D. Not in a negative way. We rock with him. But
No
in
doubt.
y'all heads, he done wrote it. I was like, Diamond, can you please tell people you didn't do that beat, bro? Because so many people keep acting like you did that beat and you don't never say nothing, bro. So to this day, I got a grudge just for the fact that he be acting like he wasn't even there. Like, oh yeah, I don't even remember that. I'm like, nigga, like, yo, that's one of our biggest songs, and you just like, you feel me?
Oh, that's
Came
wild.
to
Oh my
Raleigh,
god.
right? He came to Raleigh. The only opportunity ever for us that listen, ain't no beef, bro. But I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I always try to tell the truth, bro. Always facts. Bro, he came to Raleigh at Bobby's joint, DJ
See,
Assassin.
that's
That
that's
brother
no
King.
doubt.
Yeah. And I thought it would have been a full on opportunity for us to do that song. The only opportunity, probably. Plenty of other opportunities we done had. We done toured, but I thought that would be a time to do that song. So my experience with Diamond is, although I rock with Diamond, Diamond is a consummate producer, a great MC. Like I like everything he does. I'm a huge fan. I have nothing bad to say about him at all. But I have to say that the experience was kind of like he just showed up. He ain't really he totally rocked with us. Don't get it twisted. We had great times, but he was always super chill. So it's kind of hard to say. You feel me?
No
Like
doubt.
anybody that knows Diamond, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, he's so chill and so laid back. Like it's kind of
See,
like somebody, like one of your people come through. So
I'm
it was a
glad you
great
told that.
experience on tour and everything.
People automatically assume that when two people will when a group and another artist or two artists collaborate with each other, that they was in the studio for hours and they was kicking it and they was smoking and they was chilling and they was doing it. And I'd be like,
All
yo,
the
a lot of
fun stuff.
times,
We
dog,
did that, but it was on the tour bus. I ain't gonna cap. Like it
I
was on
feel,
the tour bus. We did
I
all of that,
feel,
everything. We had great times. It was on the tour bus. But the time he came to the studio, it was one and done. He did it so good, bro. You can't even knock it. It was so smooth. It was kind of like a non-thing. Now afterwards, after we went back and listened to it, we were like, yeah, this is fire. You see what I'm saying? But when we were there, it was more like, hey, y'all got food over there? Like, let's do something real quick, you know? So it was a spontaneous
Like
moment.
in
I'm glad
school.
we did it. Yeah, salute to him. You feel me? Diamond got stuff to do. He always, as long as I know him, he got something to do, bro. He ain't just sitting around ever.
I
So
feel
he
it.
always moving. And he
So
look exactly the same, bro. That's the crazy part.
now you said something about touring, and I'm glad you did because I often like the artists that I interview that I know have toured enough. I like to ask them because people have a lot of misconceptions about what happens on tour.
Mm-hmm.
People think it's all beautiful and glamorous and all this stuff. And I'm like, dog, being on tour is for the birds most of the time. But like,
Yeah, it sucks.
other than the performing, like, fuck the rest of that shit. But like,
How many times you done woke up to go get on stage? Like
you feel
you
me? Like,
sleep, you be like, yo, yo, yo. So yeah, it ain't what it's cracked up to be. It's like a lot of riding, a lot of sitting on your butt, a lot of like I gotta wait to use the bathroom because nobody can use the bathroom on the tour bus. A lot of sleeping. It
man,
ain't party, party, party unless you with a whole bunch of people that's just out there like 100% like, yo, this is the move. We gonna like when we would go places with Wu Tang. They were like that. They were crazy. I remember
oh
one time they
wow,
were just wilding out in a hotel room. Yeah, they were crazy. They were fun. But I ain't gonna lie, we ain't had allies like that. We were just moving with us three. So, you might have people you can call. You can be like, yo, I got a whole block over here. I can come after somebody if it's any problems. So we didn't move like that. We got into too many fights. People would not like us just in general. Like y'all cornball and y'all this and that. And but we were still big dudes, you feel me?
no doubt.
So we would just ignore stuff like that. But there were a few times where we'd be on tour and people wanted to fight, or somebody say you try to talk to your girl or something like that. And like it just be like the girl be asking you questions. Let's say I was the biggest cornball if that was the case, because girls be asking me questions, and I'd be like answering the questions. Like, hey, where y'all from? I'm like, North Carolina. Oh, word. That's nice. I don't know this shit. He's talking to me. Right?
Yeah,
I'm like, maybe she a fan. I'm like, yeah, check it out. I'll be promoting. And then all of a sudden, the dude just came up and be like, push me. Hey, get the fuck off my girl. I was like, hey, yo, fuck you.
first of all,
Yeah, first of all, I ain't even say first of all. I was like, hey, fuck you. I wasn't even talking to her. And then he got all in my face and stuff. And then all of a sudden, of course, Jingle or Spin gonna come over and try to be like, man, just get off and like whatever. What's the problem? Like, especially Jingle, because he used to think he was the enforcer. And then it just turned into something where it won't nothing, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I ain't never talked nobody's girl on tour the whole time, all these years, bro. I ain't never do none of that. Y'all can have that at y'all lane. Don't you got somebody on the other side? Don't you got somebody you can really be with? But hey, some people like to do it. So I mean, I
hey,
ain't saying I don't. I just like staying with whoever I'm staying with. So it's not
well,
all the groupies unless you in the groupies. It ain't all that drug stuff unless you in the drug. It ain't all that drinking unless you in the drinking.
I've been
And what
drinking
it is
exactly.
is get your ass on stage, do them quick shows, go put your porn on out, go backstage, eat whatever they got, Jersey Mike's or right? Am I lying? Some
Nah,
chips,
you ain't lying at all.
a vegetable platter. Bro, what are you talking about? I'm trying to get paid for this. Like, this is a job.
That's it.
So that's the only thing is people, they look at the glamour, they look at the rented jewels and the cars, and they believe all that. And we was frugal, we weren't into that. We ain't know people were gonna look down on us for not renting cars and shit. But it is what it is, bro. Like I have no regrets. I like it way better this way. I'm a legend, you know what I'm saying, wherever in the world. And if you want me to do something, I'll do it with you, and it's gonna be fire.
No doubt.
But all the other stuff, tours and stuff like that, it's not what everybody thinks it is, bro.
No, they.
Not at all.
I think people have a I think people have a mistaken idea about all of that because I had to tell a young guy, young cat, he's like 23 maybe, and he's aspiring to be an artist, and I was like, bro, listen to me, don't ever let what you see on the internet fool you. People only show you their highlights. The stuff that's bad about what's going on, they're not gonna show you that. So like, just know, like, I can help you fill in the blanks. Like I ain't been through all of it, but I can help you fill in the blanks for some of it. But like, you got to understand that the game that you're playing, the other side of that that's playing against you is pretty treacherous. So you need to know who you are and understand why you're doing this before you get into it because
Yeah.
it can
It's
lead you
about
astray
selling
really quickly.
all the other stuff, like, is just cap to try to get like little kids, really. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even buy it, they just stream it. So you just going off the streams. So that's the way I look at it. We sell records. We still sell records. I wanted to sell records. So the key is, you want to sell records? Yes. Or how do I sell records? You feel what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what I try to tell everybody, like, hey man, we're all in to sell records. There's like billions of people on this planet. Like you can find enough. You don't even know how much a billion really is. It's a million, and it's just I mean it's 1,000 million, and it's just that's a lot of people for you to just want to have 10, 20, $30,000 in sales because you releasing 5 records. If you're releasing records and you making over a space of time a certain amount of money, people like to have people like that in clubs all over the world.
Yeah.
You don't understand this is like a whole place that you can be that's separate from what everybody else is doing that you see on television, especially in American television, on the music, on the radio. You can have a whole career. It's so many rock stars and all that stuff, right? That have that opportunity to go around and be a band for 20 years. Like for real, like one of my boys, one of the guys that got us started is called in a group called The Belt, and they're like a shoegaze rock band, bunch of
Okay.
black guys. Well, not I mean it's got black and white people in it. But you know the two front men are twins and they're black. They've been playing longer than us. They go all over the place. Are they popular? Do people know them? Do they get played on the radio? No. But in their space, in their place, they are revered, thought of as legends. So it depends on are you trying to rap and then sustain a career in rap, or are you trying to reach the heights that you've seen others in television or on radio reach for you to validate who you are? Because I can tell you, uh, if you, I ain't never really had that in me. You feel me? I never
Yeah.
had, never thought that. I feel like if you could take anybody, I can rap along with them. You feel me? And people might say that's not true, but I got a lot of skill, bro. You're like, what are you talking about? Like I bring
Absolutely.
flat facts. Yeah, like I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm not trying to make me sound like I'm the best or nothing. I'm just saying like, yo, you want a solid production? I got you. You want some rhymes? I got you. You want me to write something for you? What's good? You want me to write a song? And so that's kind of how people have gravitated towards working with me. Usually it's like slow, quiet, like, hey, I really don't want to ask him, but I really want somebody like this in my corner. Like, what's up? Will you help me? You feel me? And so I've helped a lot of people that got famous, or I did stuff where they had a hit and nobody didn't even know. I did ghost writing, ghost production, all that stuff. So some people are in it and not for fame.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and there's some people who absolutely 100% want you to feel like you should be, or you're missing something, or something ain't right. You know, because
Because
then,
you're not in it.
and what is it, bro? You know what it is, because they're not into hip hop. Because if you're into hip hop, then it's nothing. I got nothing. I'm beating on the tables, bro. You feel me? I'm beating on the tables. I'm spitting a rhyme like I'm beating on the trash can. So if
Yeah.
you don't have that in you as your foundation, then of course you're gonna look at all these other things. You came in, ooh, look at this guy. He got on James. Oh, I like how he's dressed. What does that have to do with his skill? Are you even listening to anything he's saying? Did you hear how he did the double tap the beat? Did you know how he layered that kick? Did you see how he flipped that sample? All that's real hip hop. So that gets lost in all of the same people who used to be the R&B people who used to wear the silk suits. That's what they.
Yeah.
That's the reason why people be like, well, why is it like that? I'll be like, because the kids like R&B now.
Oh
Be
yeah.
like, no, they don't. They like hip hop. Like, yeah, but hip hop today is R&B.
Yeah.
And what they did was R&B and love wasn't selling to young people because they've been told on television movies, ain't no love. Anybody, I ain't got no love for you. I know. So they be like, yeah, that's how I protect myself. It's how I form my personality around a hip hop situation. So now I got the same braggadocio. You can't, yeah, boy, I'm hard, boy. I'll pull out on you right now. And that pontification comes from somebody who really probably should be in the R&B and all that other stuff, but they've had to adapt because they feel like everybody else is doing it. And that's why I feel like we had a
Hmm.
big separation in terms of R&B people. They don't want to admit it, but they be singing,
Oh yeah.
right? Singing. I'm sorry. I wanna, I'm like, yo, that's not singing. No, that's rap. That's hard. Like, yo, like I swear I heard like other singers do that, and so it's like
Yeah.
a Nate Dogg type of thing. Is it hot? I think so. I don't really hate on young people. I think beats, especially trap beats, I really like everything went left on Migos, bro. right? I don't hate on Migos. I thought it was great, but because people couldn't understand the cadence, it went into a brain kind of split. People were used
Oh
to
yeah.
a particular type of flow, so if they couldn't catch that flow or rap like that, it took them mad years to catch up. While other people just instantly adopted it, and then it became a thing. And it's happened plenty of times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we was just talking about that the other day, me and some of my guys. We was talking about moments in time in hip hop where somebody came and changed the way people move. Now, the
Mhm.
one thing I will say, I did always want to ask one of y'all this question. I think I might have asked Jingle when we was at the studio when we
Mhm.
was recording the Trope demo, but he was kind of drunk, so I don't remember the answer he gave me. So, but I'm gonna ask you. So like being the first ones out of the area to really get on, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? What did it feel like when the album came out and you like actually saw it in the store and it was like we really that's us right there. You know what I'm saying? Like did y'all have that moment or was it just kind of
All
was
right.
it for real or was it you know what I mean?
This is facts. More like when we were making them ourselves, when we were making the tapes and the CDs and we heard it on the radio, that was pretty monumental. When
Mm,
they finally came into the stores and we went to places, we were in North Carolina, they didn't have it in stores, bro. You couldn't find it. You see what I'm saying? And
right.
so most of my time was going out trying to find out why we weren't being distributed in the same state that we were in. So now, so understand where I was more in the aspects of what it does it take to actually do all these things globally, locally. Where is it made? Where do these things go? What are they doing? I will find out certain things about that. So what I would say would give you a good answer in that vein in a more positive way would be when we saw our music videos. Now that's hot because just to be sitting or to be back then they would play left field. Like left field was a thing.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't a thing for me to go somewhere and all of a sudden, like another song's playing on a hot mix at 6 or a top 10 at 10 or whatever. And then in the mix, all of a sudden you hear boom, doo, doo, oh, hey. So that's how I can identify with that. Yeah, for sure. That blindsided we were hearing music. We weren't even studying it and it'll play. Or sometimes like I was watching a TV show the other day, they played Busted Loop. I was like, what the hell? Where did that come from?
Oh
So
wow.
so it's stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? It's
That's
stuff like
fire,
that is
man.
kind of yeah. And then actually that's what got me into TV. Well, the concept was what got me into TV and music licensing, and that's why I still do. But making beats for TV and stuff like that is something that's a lot easier to go right into. But
Mm,
I get the same feeling because I never know when one of my beats might pop up on like Love and Hip Hop or you feel what I'm saying? I never
true that.
know. Um because I licensed them out for somebody else to handle it. So I've been in situations where I've been in another room and we just all talking about something else and somebody else watching something on TV in another room, all of a sudden one of my beats come on. Like, hey, and so that's kind of the feeling that you get. You just you don't it's you don't expect to see it.
No doubt.
More recently, uh, one of my boys I do graphic design right on. He had a billboard in New York, and one of my logos was on that billboard, right? And
Oh wow.
so and at the time, she's passed, but my girlfriend at the time, I showed it to her. And she was like, that's so amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but then you find out that anybody could do it. You could just buy the time on the billboard for like 10 minutes, coordinate it, and do a photo shoot.
Very true. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying, I don't think he paid. He didn't pay. He got put up there because he was in New York Fashion Week, and they were like, "Give me all of your logos," I think, and they were like, "Yeah, it's going up on Billboard." So that's technically still that's props worthy. I give props to it,
No
but
doubt.
for the
That's
fact
love.
that you can go up in there, yeah, and you could actually do a campaign of where you're paying attention to that is really YAGGFU front. That's what we into. Is just how do you figure out how do you get CDs made? How do you get stickers made? How do you get T-shirts made? All this is connected to your question. I'll bring it back around. But how do you get stickers made? How do you get CDs made? How do you make enamel pins? How do you make like merchandise and stuff? How are the record labels doing it? What happens when they send it to the publishers clearinghouse? Why do they put a hole in that thing? Right?
Right.
All of that has to do with what you see as a result without knowing it's gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying? Like the
Mm.
preparation of putting that together and then putting it out and it be a baby and it fly off, right? And then it come back to you in a way that you didn't have no control over. You didn't know you were gonna run into it. You know what I'm saying? I might go into an old store. I went to one place in Louisiana and they had us in there signed with my signature on it, a picture, right? I don't remember that. I just been like, yeah, you might have come around. Like, where did y'all get this from? We're like, we don't know. It's just had mad memorabilia of all kinds of pictures and everything. I don't know. I never been in that store in my entire life.
He said,
So,
"Where you get this from?"
bro, I see. Like, imagine walking into a store, you looking for records, you look up, and you like, damn, that's an old ass YAGGFU front poster. With us, we were standing on Raleigh Boulevard,
Oh
and
shit!
then that's one of the ones we made, and it's got all our signs. All our signatures, spin for the real signature, deranging damage the way I wrote it. So that it's even crazy if you're a mystery group and nobody don't really know who you are.
I
And
was
then
about
you
to
go.
say.
I went to LA. I went to Pineapple Express, the weed place, to be like, hey, aren't you a rapper or something? Like, man, ain't no way y'all know who I am. That was the first. Look, I'm talking about I went to groceries. I did not know that hip hop was so strong in LA that people, just general people, know who the hell I am. So it's different than being in North Carolina where I can go to Food Line and nobody don't know who I am. Well, they do, but they just ain't gonna say nothing.
I think y'all are memorable too, though, because at the time when y'all came, it was I think that was like it was like a transition that was happening at that time because like Native Tongues kind of was running New York hip hop at a point, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, it was like y'all album came out around the same time Illmatic came out. So like all of that, there was all in it. So y'all were like right the bridge like between the Native
Doggy
Tongue era and
style,
then
all that.
before
Yep.
Nas and all that and ready to die and all that came out. So like, was there any trepidation on y'all part like when y'all saw the game change? Like, was it like, damn, like okay, like how do we kind of navigate the stage so we can stay us but still, compete?
Well, it's like this. That's kind of why the exit is. It's because I began to see people who were on the Native Tongues vibe or whatever. We weren't really necessarily. Y'all can't say we were on a Native Tongues vibe. I think we were on
Nah,
a us vibe, meaning it was more unique to us. It didn't necessarily represent the whole of North Carolina or anything
right.
like that. Just us coming and stuff together. But I have to say that more. It was more of a. I would say it was more of a even keeled kind of situation, meaning those things didn't necessarily apply to what our situation was going on. But what we saw was people, and this is no disrespect to any artist, so I won't be naming names, but there were rappers back then that I was fans of, and I saw them switch over from being more happy-go-lucky to singing PM Dawn, get into that with KRS-One, and then try to be more hardcore. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And so we felt like we were hard anyway. It's just that we decided that the game needed more humor, more tongue in cheek. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But lyrically and beat wise, we were hard. We weren't gonna talk about shooting anybody,
No.
but lyrically, we were hard in terms of the thing. The we were technically it was technically difficult to pull off what it is we were doing. We made a song about pirates. You feel what I'm saying? That was technically difficult to do in a place where everybody's acting like we got to be hard. And be like, yo, I mean, we made a song about left field or where guys get dissed by chicks because they didn't have enough. They were scared a little bit. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? We did songs about a magical black liquid that enabled spin to start rhyming crazy. You feel what I'm saying? But we were doing that on purpose because we felt like that it was getting to the point where people were pretending. And why pretend if there's so many spaces of creativity that you haven't touched yet? It's like a big world. You feel what I'm saying? Of creativity. Poetry has that.
Right.
Music has that. Rock music has that. Jazz music has that. Classical music has that. Country music has that. It's all these different genres. And I just felt like, even to this day, am I wrong? They just put hip hop in one category, bro.
No, that's real shit. Yeah.
So that's what it was. Is that we were trying to show that there was way more versatility, and we helped with versatility and creativity with countless hip hop artists, even famous ones.
Mm,
So I don't think that if a YAGGFU friend had not come out to be willing to do something that was even more weird, like there are other weird groups and other like strange, like cutting edge groups like Freestyle Fellowship. They
mm,
were dope.
yes.
But they use different like four. They use different types of metered music. They use different time. They would have 4/4 time and even a 4/8 time on their beats, and it just be crazy with the way that they were putting stuff together. It was insane. But
Man.
all that becomes niche after a while when everybody begins to con, like get together, congregate on who they like. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? First it was Gerardo or like
Mm.
Vanilla Ice. Then it became Hammer. Like, well, he ain't real enough. We'll get Hammer. Hammer's real. He's a gangster, but he's still doing the same stuff as what Vanilla Ice was doing, or right more of the R&B stuff. They were dressing in suits and suits. Think about it, bro.
No doubt.
So
That's
that's
real
my
talk.
that's my take on it. Is that all of this stuff that we deal with today is a part of how the music industry try to switch everything around so that they
Mm.
market, and promote it. So they were like, well, the NWA thing is because white kids were into hip hop and they were like, yeah, this is real. This is reality. I shouldn't be listening to this. This is taboo, but
Right.
I like it. And that's kind of how we got where we are today is that corporations began to market to suburban kids with the advent of NWA. And the goal that they were trying to market was it's taboo to listen to,
Right.
which would, I'm a white person, for example, even back then, but this makes me edgy. This makes me different than the people who don't associate with black people. It makes me
Right.
more progressive, cutting edge, edgy. Uh, and then act nonchalant about it. As I can fit in these spaces. I'm different. I can still be this way, but I can fit into these spaces. And you saw that go into the music industry. That was the advent of people coming into the music industry during that time who wanted to profit off of hip hop in a way
Mm.
that wasn't authentic. They gave a kitty about breakdancing. They gave no two craps about graffiti. They didn't
Right.
care about DJing. All they wanted to know was these kids over here are loving this stuff. How can we get more to these kids to get money from it?
Yeah.
And because we, as a community, a hip hop community, did not demand for better, that their theory was correct. It kind of is tanking hip hop today because the people who would have been elevated to the point of where we would have museums more or award shows more or authentic people in position like that breakdancing thing in Paris was a tragedy. It was a tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the judges should be crazy legs. And you feel what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like that, but they don't have any of it, and so I feel like stuff like that is what's going to make hip hop. This may be controversial. It's going to make it go away, and it's going to be replaced by something else. Like jazz didn't get replaced; they still deal with the classics. They've trained these kids not to even deal with the classics.
Right. Right. There's a
You know?
I think,
Yeah.
and it goes back to something that somebody was saying before. They said hip hop the only music that called they elders old school. Everybody else is traditional, classic, whatever.
Nah,
Um,
first it was old school, then it was new school, then it was next school, and all this other.
yeah.
But what they did was you saw that was we don't have a system in the hip hop community, in the black community, to vet what is being marketed to us.
Mm,
So
fact.
because we don't have a system, they have a system. They got a whole filtering system. They got churches, they got businesses, they got the government to filter everything that's gone through to be able to turn it on and turn it into a spin. But what they found is that with us lacking in a way to actually address that, right? We're left with they get to run the narrative. They get to say what's going on. They get to say what's good and what's bad. Not only do they market to children the stuff that nobody wants as adults, we don't want our kids watching this, but then they turn around and say the kids are at fault and the parents are at fault, but they are using it to make money. So they get the profit and they get to trash the people that's buying it. So that's until we do
Mm,
something, right? Until we do something, it's gonna be like that, bro. It's gonna be like that until you reach out to the youth about traditional hip hop, and it's coming.
oh yeah.
It's not gonna work. We're look. I'm old. I mean, when I say old, I'm 55. But look at ourselves. Right now I'm 55. That's 5 years from 60. This ain't no kind of 60 I thought I was gonna be. I'm ready to go run up the street.
You feel me?
I ain't never seen no 60-year-olds back in the days. They was decrepit. So we're living longer. We need to take the blessings of us having this opportunity, no matter what level of career you're at, to spread the word about what hip hop is, what it did for us, and how it made us feel, so that
Yes.
they can maybe catch the vibe of what kind of unifying situation it was. Not a situation where everybody was going in against each other, dealing with ops going to kill each other. That's what the 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 current hip hop state of these artists that want to talk back and forth and end up doing it to the point of where they want to kill each other or desecrate graves, right? Or smoke on the
Smoking on their
opposition,
ops. Yeah.
right? All of that, all of that is not even of us.
Nah.
You know,
That's the other shit.
you know what I think it is, bro. And I'm gonna say this straight up. I think it's a campaign. Like, you know how we got these people who have whole farms of some in Russia, they got them in America. All right, hear me out on this. In the state of hip hop as it is today, we have ladies who shake their butt, right? And guys who do drugs and sell drugs and talk about having illegal guns, right? And they party to this. And they listen to it all the time. Now, none of that is unifying. Peace, love, unity, and having fun. All right? But it is a way to feel like you're a part of family because you can choose a side, right? They have
Yeah.
gangs where you can choose a side. You don't even need to choose a gang side now. All you gotta choose is a musical side. Like, yo, I rock with Food, like, or I rock with Ace. You know what I'm saying? I rock with that. I don't even rock with it. I don't rock. You're not even in their state, bro. You're in Colorado. So you riding for people you don't know based off of something you done seen on the internet just to make sure you're cool or accepted with all the people around you or what type of person you are. And you're growing up and you 9, 10. So that's not hip hop to
Like,
me, man. Hip hop would never allow stuff like that to happen. I've been
nah.
talking to many people. I listen, I know that Daddy O has been trying to get self destruction 2 off the ground for a long time. I was talking to him the other day. I was like, man, can you just get it off? Like, you feel me? Like, let's
Let's
do it.
do it.
But nowadays it's red tape, bro.
Oh
You
yeah.
feel me? It ain't lightning in a bottle like it was before. You feel me? So it ain't gonna be like that.
I know as
So
far as that go, the self-destruction 2 thing, I think Trigger hit me up about that like 3 years ago and was like, yo,
gambling,
yeah, Trigger the Gambler. He was like, yo,
yeah,
Daddy, you're working on the self-destruction too. What's up with
true.
it? I was like,
That's the same
I'm
thing we
down.
talk. Everybody's down, bro. It's just it was going. He transformed it. I think it's still gonna happen. Maybe in 2025. I'm just saying the concept went way beyond just releasing a song, bro. It was too many rappers, so he had it set up for East Coast, West Coast, going around to each one and interviewing people and talking about what's going on and making it a series like Self Destruction. And I think that's dope.
Oh, that's dope,
So
dope.
I don't know how. Yeah, like all this stuff that I thought. The reason why I'm saying that is all this stuff I thought was like a no brainer. Like put it on BET. What we can get some money. Let's get a grant. Look, with Netflix. Somebody gonna pick this up.
Yes.
It's instantly saying, well, the youth ain't gonna go for it because the youth likes. Literally, I heard somebody say, well, how are you gonna reach the youth because they ain't interested in all this peace. And I was like, yo, you hear what you just said? He was like, yeah, but it's true, man. They don't want that shit. That shit is weak. That's you being a puss for that. Bro, I either like, yo, I don't know how to counteract that. If you got somebody that is paying millions of dollars to go into the black community and buy ads and make Facebook groups just to talk to the black community, and they send us all this stuff on Facebook of people shooting guns or murder or all this other stuff you didn't ask for, go on X, and instantly you just hit with a whole bunch of MAGA stuff. You can't even stop it. Like the minute you
Oh
start,
my God.
and you didn't even ask for it. These aren't even people you follow, right? So we're being inundated with a whole bunch of stuff that is bigger than me or you. And now that we have an absolute opportunity to control media, that we need to figure out a way to get a narrative out to those who fit what's really going on. There's too many bars, there's too many MCs, there's too many songs, there's too many dope stuff you can listen to that uplift you or put you in the right state of mind, has right harmonics, ain't gonna put you down, ain't gonna talk about how you gonna pop somebody or somebody else is taking your girl, stealing your girl, kidnap your kids.
Mm,
You
yes.
know, we gotta stay away from. Oh, I can't read it to you, but I wrote something on that. I can't read it to you, but uh, ultimately, we gotta do something about how we, like look at this stuff, bro. Like it's not cool.
Oh yeah.
And also we have to get stronger in using the technology of today to spread the word. Cause it
Yeah.
ain't just about hip hop. Like if you can do it in hip hop, then we can translate that to any other brand, like marketing, t-shirts, buttons, anything that you can do in hip hop, you can then turn around and do that in any other media. If you can just figure out how to transfer the same work ethic to, like everybody doing podcasts now. Everybody doing at least a little bit of merch, right? Uh Hats, you want to get a hat embroidered, you just want to do a logo, if you want to have a whole t-shirt, you can have it delivered in a few days, full color now. And
Okay.
so there needs to be some kind of teachable moment with hip hop people who have had successes but did it themselves so they can talk to kids or anybody that's interested in the same way you're doing it to give them the proper information and give them a way to do it. Because I wish
Yeah.
I wish I had I wish I had Procreate and Printful back in the days. I wish I had the other day I released a record. I can get the records from the cereal boxes.
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
I found a spot that will do that, and it's not quite the cereal boxes. Those were a lot more flimsy. This is more of like a record, and it's got like real heavy card stock under it. You feel me?
Okay.
But you can play it on a record player. It's got a lo-fi sound. It's pretty good. I decided I was gonna start releasing those. Yeah, it's dope.
That's
So
crazy.
about it, I can get. Listen, I got a record label. I can get CDs. I can get full on vinyl. I can get T-shirts, stickers, promo posters. I'm producing people, and it's all off of my iPhone. Think about that. Everything I used to do with the computer, like I got tons of Macs. You know what I'm saying? Now I do everything off of this iPhone, bro. I produced the whole track. That joint I did for Stetsasonic, I did that
Uh-huh.
on this iPhone right here.
What about the what was it? The Aurera's Tempora
Yeah.
project? The Aurora
Now,
Tempora project?
okay, so Aurora Tempora was my experiment with working with sampling using AI. A few years ago, when it first came out, I started working with it. I was trying to tell Spin and Jingle, yo, this is the future, bro. And they were like, well, yeah, but how authentic is it? And then I talked to diggers and they'd be like, yeah, but it takes away from the digging. All right, for me, if you go back and listen to my beats, I took samples and chopped them up and then turned them into something that didn't even sound like the sample.
Right.
We did a lot of loops, but my later beats, they more were chopped up samples. All right, so when I started getting into AI and using all these services, I was like, oh, this is incredible because if I do this right, I can get it to make the song that I want to sample. Now, a lot of the stuff that I would sample would be obscure anyway. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So I began to describe it, using words, I would describe it until I could get a prompt that was good enough. And then I wouldn't even use it. I would go in there and take the pieces that I like, the horns and the drums and the piano notes and all that stuff. And just like I did before, I would chop them up. So now, I not only is it the fact that I sample something that sounds authentic and gives the authentic vibe of hip hop, right? You got it, but I don't have to worry about the samples, and it's a lot unique. I be using my mouth to make the beats. It's too crazy, bro. It's too
Yo, that's
crazy.
wild.
Yeah. So
That is
and
wild.
then nobody don't know. People be like, man, you shouldn't even tell nobody using AI. I be like, why not? Be like, well, is it authentic? You be like, bro, I'm authentic, bro. I'm making beats. You ain't know what I was sampling in the first place. So why
What's the
why
difference?
now if I'm making a sample, if I'm playing it into the AI, right? Let's say I play in notes. And I make a little piano sample off of GarageBand. That's how I'll be doing it. I go get the lo-fi piano, right? And I might play something in a high pitch, low pitch, whatever come out. But I can put it through AI. It'll make a whole beat, add strings and everything. Now, me, I feel like that's too far for me. So I like to have. I'm just saying, some people like, oh, I'm done, right? But for me, I'm like, and it don't be sounding good. Like, AI music is alright. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing that it did it on your own off of what you typed in.
Right.
Is it something that I'm gonna be bumping daily? No. But when I be making beats on it, it's got it's got that in it. It's got it baked in. So what I did was with Herrera Tempera, it was like I got old beats I never put out that have samples. What if I go back and remake all of those beats from golden to back in the days, the same tapes I used to be doing, and remake them into something brand new? And that's what I did. Every single track on Rare Tempera is a beat I made maybe 15, could be 15, 20 years ago. But I couldn't release it or I couldn't find the original sample or none of that stuff.
Oh wow.
Then I got a lot of backlash off of that because everybody was like, "Why didn't you give me that beat? Why did you put it out and not give me that beat?" I'm like, "These are the same beats I done showed y'all. Y'all just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You probably skipped over them. You literally thinking they new beats just because of how I packaged them." So that's the other thing. I was able to do packaging. I already did graphic design. I was able to do packaging, promotion, marketing. I got paid off of that record. You feel me? Like
No
just
doubt.
from doing something that I was doing in the back room, just like, hey, I ought to put this out. And once I called Joe, so that's what is going on with me right now. I have a record label called Unknown Planet. We release some stuff off of YAGGFU Front and other things, but it's a totally niche, like, you know, record label where I have been approached by other people to be signed, young people, people who are out there new. I have met a lot of people, but I don't know if they're gonna go with our aesthetic because it's totally creator driven. I take the lowest percentage possible of the sales. Okay? You come up with an idea. I will bring that idea to life as a graphic designer and a promotions person. But then you get the majority of the money. You pay for your ads. You do all that stuff. You'll see the results once you do it. The record label is more like just a collective. So what ends up coming out of that though is the best ideas, bro. Like I don't know if you've seen the stuff I did for Joe City. That was Joe City's idea. Now did I do the graphics and all that stuff? Yes, but mentally he said, "Hey, you know what I'm trying to do?" I was like, "Yo, man, what is it? What? Why don't you just tell me what you want to do?" He was like, "Look, man, it's just I've been putting a lot of work in. I sound like I've been putting a lot of work in, and I just want to see, people. I want people to have an opportunity to listen to it." I was like, "Well, let's just release it." He was like, "Yeah, but what is that going to take?" I was like, "Bro, I got everything set up. This is what I need you to do. Think back. Tell me what like those covers that inspired you." He got back with me 2 days later. He said, "Yo, you know what? You're right. I thought of an idea. You remember them old LTD joints and all that stuff?"
Mm,
I'm like, all right. So when you see the cover for his joint that he came out with, it's gonna have that same kind of old school cover vibe.
no doubt.
And then I went and used AI. I used several different places. I used different samples and stuff like that, and then turned it into like it's a commercial for it. We got music videos that's coming out and everything. And so then I got another artist named Jay Gray. He did the same thing. So he was like he was like, I don't know if he was fucking me, he won't fuck me, I don't know. But anyway, I hit him up like, "Yo, what is it?" Like, "Man, I feel like I had these ideas and you ain't gonna just jump all on them." I'll be like, "Bro, this is what it really is for me."
Jay Gray, if you listening,
Yeah,
Jay Gray, I sent you a message about a song we supposed to be doing, and you
yeah,
haven't
bro.
responded to
This is
me.
what I'm trying to tell you is, look, I'm trying to get everybody together. You're like, this is what I'm trying to do. Get everybody together because I'm dead serious. Like everybody know it now. When I first came out with this stuff, I think everybody was like, "Oh, I don't know, is it gonna work? I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see what happens." Right? In the meantime, bro, I done kept on going. I ignored that 100%. I ain't gonna cap. I ignored it. I had focused vision. Like, yo, we doing this. Like, y'all gotta understand. I got you. But it takes everybody to understand this stuff. It sounds fantastic. When I say, "Hey, man, we're gonna shoot music videos with a green screen, but it's gonna be like you on Mars," you're not gonna believe it's gonna look Hollywood because in your mind, ain't no way you doing all this off of your phone, bro. But I took 5 years to study all this stuff to be able to do it off of my phone. And now I can do all I can shoot movies, videos, music, commercials, everything right off the phone. All my assets to the beach, everything assets there. I can do it right there. And that is hip hop to me. That is so
Yes,
hip hop, bro, to have a phone in your hand and be like, "Yo, I'm about to make this beat and to send it off. And this dude gonna rap on it."
I'm about to
Ain't
do
nothing
the
better,
whole situation from right here. Like that is the most hip hop thing.
bro.
Yes, you're
I love
absolutely
it.
right.
I
You're
love it.
absolutely
So
right.
now I got everybody on board. If you got something coming out or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, you want to release it on Unknown Planet or something like that, hit me up because I will take the time and the care that I expect the record labels to do. I don't want your money. I do want the record label to succeed. So I do take a percentage, but you get the lion's share above 70% on every single thing, everything. None of the artwork do I charge you for, none of that stuff. We just working together to put out a track.
We can talk,
And
man. We can
are
talk.
we gonna sell like millions of records? No. You feel me? But we can
Exactly.
sell thousands, bro. Like that's no problem. Like, and I need to, that's where I'm really looking for is dealing with people who are interested in actually making an art piece where we might even put in a box set. Like if I release the next one, it's gonna be on a cereal box, but it's gonna be a real cereal box with cereal in it. You know what I'm saying? We about to release Action Packed Adventure again in Europe, like a whole box set with memorabilia from YAGGFU Front. That's coming out in October. You feel me? So
Ooh.
right now, I'm just trying to take. Uh, I don't know where everybody is in terms of the group. We talk, but we haven't talked in a while since all of this 50th anniversary hip hop stuff was going on. Everybody's working on their stuff. But what I'm gonna do in the meantime to make sure everything keeps going is maintain all pieces. You feel what I'm saying? It's all
Yeah.
good to prepare for something that could be in the future. It's all set up. So beats, music, stuff that people excite, stuff that would really actually make people think again about hip hop is on the way. Whether or not it's just for people like you. It's for you, David. It's for it's for everybody that's ever been associated. You feel me? Because they feel disappointed that we didn't really reach some crazy heights. They see these other people and where they went to and how we were there and how we had the accolades, but don't see, well, where's the money or why won't y'all have that type of success? We were never built, never. Anybody watching this, we were never ever built to be famous or successful. We were built so we could install something into hip hop. I swear to you, we thought about it back then. To install a piece of hip hop where you, as a hip hop artist, got a separate free reign to be as dope as you are, but not necessarily have to talk about what's trendy or worry about what everybody else is saying. You don't have to be some entity that isn't who you are. You don't have to front,
I
basically.
like that. I like that. That's you know what? After observing over time, I mean, because I was probably one of those people who felt some type of way when the second YAGGFU album didn't come right away. You know what I'm saying? Or I was because I mean I since I got to watch, I watched most of, you know what I'm saying. By the time when I was in high school, I was going to Athens, and I'm watching this whole thing take place. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was working at 88, I was still going to Athens then. I was in the 12th
Right.
grade, so
Mm-hmm.
like um it was like, yo, I'm watching this happen, and I'm like, yo, Yak Fu Front, and I'm running around, and I'm telling everybody when I got to Winston-Salem State, yo, y'all don't understand, man, Yak Fu Front, man, and I'm digging up all the rally groups to all these people in Winston-Salem and Greensboro, and they just like, who are you talking about right now? And I'm like, dog, you're gonna know, you know what I'm saying? Then the album dropped. I went to the Haynes Mall in Winston and bought the tape, and came back to my room, and was like, yo, y'all get ready to sit in here with me right now. We about to roll up and listen to this Yak Fu Front. So that's what we did. We skipped class the whole day. We played the album like 5 times, smoked hella blunts, and at the end of it all, they was like, "That's your people." I was like, I mean, yeah, but nah, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's
Nah,
that's,
you
that's
always been our
nah,
people.
what nah shit, man.
Okay,
You know what
so
I'm saying?
hey, let me tell you something directly to you on your podcast, bro. I have zero clue of any of that. You got to approach me like imagine me just being me, bro. So I have heard all kinds of stuff like you ain't even mess with me back in there. I'm like, what? You feel me? How am I supposed to know that, bro? We don't talk like talk to me. Like I'm cool. Like I ain't changed a bit. You feel me? I don't know what people think about me, but they clearly did not talk to me, bro. You feel me?
I feel
Anybody
you.
ever say anything? James said something really wise. He said nobody ain't mad at me for what I did to them. They're mad for what I didn't do for them. But
Mm.
if you know me, I would do anything for anyone.
Yo, that's
You
real shit
feel me?
too. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
real
like
shit.
that's straight facts. Like if you know me, I don't care who you are, or who's watching. Like I would do anything. But if you lose contact with me, I've never been a phone person, bro. I've never been a phone person. I've never been like you can hit me up. I like even if I rock off an email. But I just never been a phone person, bro. I've never been a social media person. So if you adapted into that and you actually looking for that type of discourse with me, guess what you're gonna think? That he don't fuck with me. You feel me? He ain't like my post. I don't even know you made a post. Bro, like I'm just not into that. I'm so into what I'm doing. I'm lost back in, I'm not stuck in the 90s or nothing like that, but I'm lost before the iPhone 2008. That's only a few years ago. You feel me?
No doubt.
So if you develop all that stuff and over that time and you was like, yo, I'm gonna holler, I'm gonna hit you up, I'm gonna FaceTime you, I'm gonna do all that. Be like, yo, I'll be like, hit me up, call me on the phone. Be like, I don't even be doing all that calling. You feel me?
Like, yo,
I just text
email
you.
me, dog.
Bro, I'm telling you, I would respond to an email. Text, I might not even ever see it, bro. I might even be like, ding. I'll be like, damn, that sounds like Pavlov's dog to me. That's what I used to say. And so I've already divested from the text message.
I
So
feel it.
in many years up until the 50th anniversary when I started seeing people, like people came up to me like, yeah, man, I heard you don't even mess with me. Like, bro, let me take. I don't want to say that I am ignoring you, but I come from an era where you didn't talk to your friends because you couldn't. You had to mail them a letter. You feel me, bro? You had to mail them a letter, right? And I
Fact.
never adopted into I'm gonna hit you up except for the emails. I was down with the emails, be like, hey, this is cool. I can get letters on my computer now.
Right.
So as far as everybody thinks I'm technologically advanced, at the end of the day, if you know me and you be around me, you be like, yeah, he ain't really a phone person. So if you adopted that, I got lost, or people just got lost in translation. Like, I don't even know how to contact you. I'll be like, hey, bro, my number in the phone book. You feel me? Like, how you not? You literally my number and my address in the phone book. You know my real name. Just call me, bro. I don't have your number. I don't be calling people. So at the end of the day,
Well,
if anybody see this or think I diss them or anything, you can see right in my face. It ain't like that. I don't care who it is. You can go down the list of anybody I ever met. I don't know how we lost contact, but hit me up. If you can't get me, message him on in his jump. Be like, yeah, how you contact him? He'll know if you real. So, but yeah, bro, that's real talk, bro. I don't get it. I ain't never gonna get it. I still ride with people. I ain't never I'm jumping like my dad. He's like, I hope they okay. You know what I'm
no
saying? Like, I
doubt.
pray for you. I think about you. But ain't me this and never because I'm just not on the phone. You feel me? But
Ain't
and I
nothing wrong with
and
that.
and bro, if I ain't in the studio, I'm in the studio, bro, all the time. Like right now, where I'm coming from, and right now after we go into, I gotta go back in the studio. So in the crib, this is my own people crib. I got a room in there with a green screen, a bunch of lights for streaming, all that stuff. And I'll be doing streams and stuff like that, but just under anonymous names, playing video games, all that stuff. But I got enough stuff in there from all these days that if I go into my people's house, I can go into that room, whip out the old Mac, whip out all the old equipment, and make beats like I used to. So
Mm.
that's even better. Like I still got songs. Like you probably do too. I got songs I still haven't recorded. We were supposed to come out with Action Packed Adventure 2. I put that on pause. I was supposed to come out with a solo album. I put that on pause because of trying to hurry up and get this Action Packed Adventure jump out, which was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year.
So
So
true.
now that that's done, then that's why you starting to see me pop back out. I'm going to start dropping stuff for people and where I can spend more time actually, what I'm saying, concentrating on it.
No
So
doubt.
yeah, but this is just a conversation, man. I 100% take over all podcasts and run talking all the time, so I already know I do this. So, but
Hey,
if you
bro.
got anything to say, like in terms of what you think about asking, now is the perfect time to ask, cause
Yeah, I mean it's been a long run, man, and I know I've seen a lot of different just because I've been fortunate enough to be close enough to be able to see some of the transitions that have occurred over time, like tech specialists and all that other stuff that was taking place. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I guess my okay. So first of all, my favorite YAGGFU, I got two favorite YAGGFU songs. My two favorite YAGGFU songs are "Slap a Sucker Silly" and "Fruitless Moot." Those are my two favorite songs. So
Fruitless Loop, that's a crazy song.
yeah,
That's a crazy
that
song
song
because
is
of how it's
wild.
put together. Yeah, it's actually referring to when we used to stay off of over there off of Falls in the News. Well, over there back by where We stayed in several apartments, but at one of the apartments, me and Spin, we would share Spin's car, and he had like a Ford Escape, wagon or something like that. And that song is based off of the truth of maybe we have to coordinate about picking up girls if we're sharing the same car. And that's what Fruit. If you go back and listen to it, it's like past midnight, and I'm trying to holler at a girl to get her to come over to the house because Spin's about to go out with another chick. They go into a midnight movie. So if I wanted her to come over, I had to coordinate it so that he could take the car and go out on the date. So I'm trying to hurry up and get her over, but it looked like ain't nothing happening. It's just a waste of time, and she ain't coming. It's fruitless.
Oh, that song is so good. The first time it took me 3 times to listen to it to realize exactly what was happening, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." I was like, "Yo, play it again." So I mean, like as far as writing goes, I know we talked a lot about you producing, but like as far as writing goes, like what's your process like writing? Do you are you one of the do you still pen and pad or are you more up here?
Nah, I stopped writing stuff down a long time ago, except for to submit it to what you call because this is my process. My process is simple, and when I explain to people, they'd be like, "Nah, it ain't all that," and I'll be like, "Yeah, it is." All right, so back in the days, that's kind of how we made the album was just making it up. We didn't really write it down, so it was a lot of freestyle on there. It didn't.
Okay.
People didn't believe it. They didn't believe it. We had. That's the reason why we made my dick is large because people didn't believe we would just freestyle the song. But that concept was so wild we couldn't come up with anything. That's why it's so funny. It's like you can hear it going I don't know what to say to this. So but yeah. So my process is this. I'll either hear a song or a sample, or I'll just be sitting around, like sitting right here, right now, smoking. And he'll be like, I'm literally doing it right. I mean, you might hear the this is the second bar. And then also now listen, I do this in front of people and they don't know what the hell's going on, but at that moment I gotta put the whole beat together. So I'm like do 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 the bang tax. Now, back in the days, I used to go look for that record. Now I use the AI to make that. I'll be like, all right, let me plug in the stuff and then make it sound like it's real, horns and stuff. So now
Okay.
all of a sudden, right? And I'm like, what would sound dope like this? So I'm like, and I put the flow together first. How I'm going to flip the
Mm.
words, like, and then I start freestyling. And then until I say something that tickles me or is funny, or be like, that was crazy. All right, I might need to write that down. And then from that point, once I get that point where I write it down and be like, I'll come back to it or whatever, I got the whole song in my head. And so then it's the difficult part of phrasing. I got a song, it's the phrasing part. And it's like, all right, there's a part on a song I got that's coming out, and it's I remember number one because lyrics every year we make a top 10. Marvel, I got to take on one of your properties. I think is unique. It take more than a couple of weeks to see, but I sent you a tweet, right? I have that idea in my head, but I don't know how I'm gonna be able to say it in a way that makes it so fast and so effortless that you just hear me saying it and you hear what I'm saying, but then you go back and listen to it, like, damn, he flipped the hell out of that shit. So that's my
Mm.
goal. So my process is to figure out what it is I'm gonna say and then how to fit it in the time frame that we talking about. And so that's my
Ah,
process. And then I'll grab headphones. The first thing I do is I'll put it in voice notes or whatever until I know it,
right.
until I know it by heart. And once I know it by heart, then I say it over and over again. So when it's this so ridiculous, so that I can Rod did that, couldn't build a stunt big enough, got this Hank Pym couldn't beat me up, this is for the kid, you instrumental, you pick it up. What? This shit so ridiculous. Rod did that, couldn't build a stunt big enough, got this Hank Pym couldn't beat me up enough. This is for the kidney. What? I had a floor on the right, I want to felt to pink, but the tip was too dry, so it got me to thinking about all the freestyles. I'm a brain big leaking. What can I memorize? Like Jay-Z, I'm so delinquency. I'm frequently freestyles and be sequence of the company keep calling for payments they won't be receiving. See how fast I'm saying it?
Yeah.
So, but it's not that fast. It's like boom, dun, 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 dun. So it's I got a flow I wanted to write down with a felt to pink them. But you ask me my process, that's what I do. I double time it so I can remember. I had it after this, I'm gonna have to just let it spin and record them on my own track so I can record it. I'm saying it fast, but it's not that fast. You see what I'm
You know,
saying?
somebody else said something about that too. They said that they say it saying it double time helps them remember it quicker. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
Well, because I literally before that time, this is a single I got that's coming out. Literally before me going and putting the pieces together right now, I don't remember them lyrics. You be like, jumping Jehoshaphat, we snatched a fat beat and then we sped it up. Snatch a fat, you know what I'm saying? Like I know it, but I don't know it. It has to be excess. Like I gotta hear, and I'll be like, yo, I already did it so many times. Jumping Jehoshaphat, and I just start
No
sounding
doubt.
like. So that's really what it is. And so most of it is just how am I gonna breathe? Where really mostly is where do I breathe? Where don't I breathe? Really, most of it is where can I just not breathe? How much of it can I say before I breathe? And how much air do I need to take in so I can get to the next part where I breathe? So most of the time when I'm rapping, I have to be honest. I don't know what I'm saying, even though I know it's already pre-done. But I am waiting for my breath. Meaning, like, let's say some songs I only breathe once or twice. I say the whole song, I only breathe twice. Throughout the whole thing, I do it one take, right? And then that sounds crazy, but I've been practicing that for a long time, and that's kind of something from the '90s in the first place. You feel me?
Oh
So
yeah.
nowadays, people more got easier ways to do it. You can just sit there. People like rap, not even have the rhymes, and just say 4 bars, stop, like right off the dome. Okay. Well, me, I kind of make it over and over again because I want to put puzzling lyrics in there where it's not necessarily easy to say.
Right.
I want to put words in there like the one I was saying. I had it, and after this, I'm gonna have to just let them spill and record them on my own tracks until I get a record deal. See, it's easy for ME to MC square on here now. You know what I'm saying? So that way,
Mhm.
I can accomplish the goal that I'm trying to do. What's fun for me, and then after that, I go, is this something other people can listen to and they have fun to listen to? You see what I'm saying?
Right. That makes
So
sense.
I don't really I can't say I ever really market to be like this would be good to try to put on radio or this would be good to do this or that. Mostly is I'm compelled to say this crazy rhyme that I was thinking about. I was humming when I was sitting there and I saw something on TV. I was like, yo, I even sampled a Belvita commercial one time. You feel what I'm saying?
Shit.
So
Oh, that's crazy. Oh,
yeah, it's
man.
more of a spontaneous thing. I come from the days where I went to New York. They were doing parties. I don't know that I was at the original, you know what I'm saying, party, but they were doing parties in New York and they were playing records back to back. And that's where it all comes from me. That was like the best thing that ever happened to me. I ain't never changed off of that. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And so
Mhm.
throughout life, one thing is good about I appreciate about YAGGFU Friend is really like it hasn't been a year since 1991 that I haven't gotten respect for something that I just naturally do. You feel what I'm saying? Like I can't say people be like you super talented. I can't say it's any of that on my end. On my end, I hear a beat. It looks so fun to rap and make beats, bro. Like, I just hear a beat. It could be somebody else's beat, and then I start making up stuff too.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, that's what opens doors for me is because a lot of people don't know who I am. A lot of people, when I go into business situations where I'm doing production work, be like, who? Right? Until they meet me, number one, and number two, they experience anything that I do because it's that authentic. And that's what I'm gonna keep on doing. I'm gonna keep it in the authentic stream. You can
Yes.
guarantee that I'm always do that. I know I got a lot of beats out there that not are closer to what people say are hits of today, and don't you
Mm.
don't associate that style with me. But that's to make money, man. Like that's what people. I'm not selling out or anything because I'm not making these beats. The trap beats that everybody talk about, bro. If you ask Spin and Jingle, they'd be like, yeah, he was making that before trap came out. He predicted trap. I did. I predicted
You
trap.
know
My
what's
beats gonna
crazy?
be just like this. If you think about it, I'm pretty sure you heard some of my beats. You heard beats.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't invent trap, but the style of beats, I never changed that. So it's kind of weird because if you would know only if you know me. It's just like somebody say, You wouldn't know how it influenced me personally. You wouldn't know how influential I've been.
Oh,
Nobody's really
exactly.
gonna know. Like you could tell the stories after if something ever happened to me or in the future or something like that. Uh, but nobody's never gonna know. You ain't gonna think a Knife Wonder or a JD or like you ain't gonna think they were influenced by me.
Oh yeah,
But
nah, because people won't make the association only because
right. If you
yeah,
know, yeah, if you know, you be like, hey, nah, I know it was a little bit of a damage in that. You know what I'm saying? And modern people tell me that. Be like, yo, you were real instrumental to how I decided to make beats and stuff like that. And I appreciate that because that's how beats supposed to be made. How we got it now, regardless of who did it, who did influence, I don't even care, bro. How it's supposed to be is that's how it is right now, bro. That's what I want to hear. You see how LL Cool J coming, bro? Right with Q-Tip. That's what I
man.
want. So I don't care, bro. I ain't down. I'll never have been the type that I was. That's what I'm in for. You know that. I definitely am authentic. I don't care about none of that bullshit.
When we was younger, like back in the KNC days, right?
Right.
At that point in time, I could have never imagined. Like you say, you 55. I'll be 50 in February.
Right.
So like, I
I
never
know you younger than
imagined
me.
at
I just
that
thought
point in
I
time
thought something like that.
that I would be 50 years old and still rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because we hadn't seen it yet at that
Oh,
time.
I ain't
You know
gonna
what I
lie,
mean?
100%. I got my brother coming on here. They got a whole studio. They be rapping too. I'm on a podcast, bro. Huh?
No
You can
doubt.
come through.
Hey, bro,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. We
Come
got to
up.
get off anyway because I mean, like, if you want to continue this, we can.
Yo, what up, though?
Uh, because I got like three. You can go. You can go. Yeah, where you want to
Yeah, no doubt.
go? Okay. No. It's just my cousin and my bro. They just got back from work, and also me trying to mess around and messed up the camera. So now I gotta make sure it don't fall over in the process. What's going on, Sean?
Oh yeah, but nah, man, like you was just talking about the 50-year anniversary of hip hop, and I was just like, yo, we're seeing something right now
Mm-hmm.
that if we had listened to the people that said hip hop was a fad, that rap was a fad, and it was gonna go away, if we had listened to them, we would never be seeing what we see now. And I'm like, Jay-Z, Nas, all of those guys who are 50 plus, and even LL Cool J, who's like right around the corner from 60. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
What did
we
Game
see
say?
that now.
36 and you still rapping? He 44.
You feel me? Exactly.
I ain't never go for none of that stuff they were talking about, that ageism and all that stuff. I feel like
Nah,
that's what. Hey, bro, this is what I want to say. Who Cambridge Analytica is.
no doubt.
So, do you know about the Do So campaign?
Eh,
You know that they went in for the African Party and the Indian Party down in a country in Africa and influenced everybody not to vote.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, so I feel like that number one, if you're not aware of that, then you won't know how much of money can influence what you're listening to, who you support, and everything. But that's the same techniques they were using back in the day, and they're using it again against these youth. So unless we figure out a way to like bring out some of the uh, more lofty goals of hip hop and explaining it to them that this is a unity thing. Like the battles that you see aren't the battles that we used to have. The breakdancing stuff that you saw on the Olympics isn't the breakdancing stuff that we used to have. In
Dude.
fact, you can't even. It's not even 1-to-1, bro. It's not 1-to-1. So we're not getting what we deserve because people are blocking us from taking those positions of being of taking
Nice
those
save.
positions, right? Yeah, taking those positions of being leaders. They didn't want us to lead because guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna number one take over. Number two, we're gonna also make it so that the people who should know can't know. You feel
That
me?
part. That
So
part.
that's a concern, bro. And so at the end of the day, hey, my phone about to die. I got 3 points. We can continue this at another time. I
Oh, no
appreciate
doubt. I
you,
would
but
definitely love to have you
I
back
don't
on,
want to
man.
die on you. You feel me?
No doubt. Hey, yo, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna holler at Jay. I'd love to have y'all come on together so we can kind of talk more about Unknown Planet and just what you working on with
Who,
him. And
Jay Gray?
yeah, no doubt.
All right, if we get Jay Gray to come on, we got to get Joe City to come on.
Let's do it. I'm with it.
Now,
We can bring the
yeah,
whole squad.
yeah. I mean, like, and that'll be good because I want other people to do it or maybe pick it. You know how, like, you know what I'm saying? I got it kind of set up. I want other people to pick up on it and do their own thing and maybe have a template You feel me? It's
Absolutely.
tons of fans in the world. It's tons of people out there that will support you. You got friends, family. You got Patreons. You got Kickstarters. Yo, if you got dreams about putting out music, bro, like this is the perfect time. But if you don't
Yes.
have a template or something, maybe I can help with that because I ain't trying to gatekeep. I don't know about the rest of these fools, but I would tell you. You want to know how I do it? I'll tell you. Now, do you have to put in work to do it? You got to have talent, of course. But I believe that everybody can either develop or already has talent already because of our melanated abilities. And so
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it a stack. But when it comes to the business stuff, they made it a mystery. Well, what if you could just bypass all that and have your own thing? You know?
There it is. So do me
So,
a solid. Tell the people before your phone dies. Tell the people how they can find you online.
hey, look, unknownplanet.org has all the music that we have coming out today, all the old YAGGFU front stuff and some of the new stuff. Plus, we have new artists you can come check out. I got you can come check us out at yaggfufront.com. I got t-shirts and stuff like that up there as well. And also come check me out on Instagram on YAGGFU Front and Damage from YAGGFU. I'll
No
be
doubt.
releasing beats there. I was waiting for a minute to get close to when I'm going to be releasing. So if you're interested in my beats, a good place to search is on Instagram. I got hidden beats up there under my name that you probably haven't heard before.
So do me a solid too and shoot me your email address to my IG
Yeah,
when we
it's
get done.
YAGGFU Front.
Yak for front.
Yeah, it's YAGGFU Front on anything you look for. iCloud,
Oh, now I mean like so Yak front at iCloud.com will be your
or
email.
email, like
I got you.
Hotmail, bro. It all goes to the same place. But yeah, you already know. Yeah, I'm easily contactable. I'm not one of those people who, if you're a fan or you want to work with me, you can't contact. That's facts. Just hit me up. I'll respond. Now,
Hey, just
getting
for
a
the
whole
record,
group
damage
together.
always been a real one, y'all.
Hey,
Damage always been a real one.
look, getting a group together with organization and time may happen, but not in an expeditious way. And I
Oh no
mean, like,
doubt.
yeah, we're all in different places, but we love to meet on Zooms and stuff like that, and it's all good.
I'll tap in with both of them and see what we can line up when I get and you know what I'm saying we'll talk. But I definitely got some other stuff I want to talk to you about off mic. So like yeah, we'll definitely
Sure,
talk soon.
sure,
Man,
no
thank
problem.
you so much for your time, bro. Hey, y'all, if y'all don't know how big this is two North Carolina legends on the screen right now. Trust and believe that. And that man is more than just a North Carolina legend. He's a legend, period. He was a integral part of changing the way people look at hip hop, not only in North Carolina but around the
You-
world.
You're,
Salute the
you're an
damage.
integral part. You're an integral part for not only continuing over the years alongside what we were doing, but innovating and going into the media and the social media, where I feel like I'm happy that you do so, and I don't want to say proud of you. That sounds like a elder. I mean, like it's dope what you doing. I support it 100%. More like
Thank
that.
you, bro.
That's
Thank
real.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that more than you know, man.
For
Salute the
sure, for
jingle.
sure, bro.
Salute the spin forth. Salute the DJ Assassin.
Yeah, shouts
Salute
out
to
to
my man AG
Assassin,
Thomas.
Spinforth, Jingle, better known as I was about to say his real name, Joe City. Shout out to everybody, and shout out to everybody from North Carolina supporting hip hop in all kinds of ways. We love y'all.
All the way live. Y'all know what it is, man. Pantha Politix Network, Side Barz. I am Seven Da Pantha. Salute the pretty kings of Echo Limitless. We'll catch y'all next time, family. One.
Peace, peace.